Welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We're here for the Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League, where talented teams of the Esports Tower compete every 2 weeks in a standalone tournament. Tonight, we're going to kick off Week 6. It's an all Esports Tower group. We've got some new faces, plus an Esports Tower team that has been dominating the last few weeks. I'm your host, Michael Fisher. Joining me to call all the action is already Nerdy Bird Rain. And Nerdy Bird, the one interesting team here is the Hammerheads. We haven't seen them since the spring, so I would expect it to be a new roster, but we're also told there may be some players from outside the Esports Tower. So how do you think non-Esports Tower and Esports Tower players are going to gel going into this tournament here tonight?
Well, my hope is that there's some already pre-existing camaraderie between these players that are going to be joining the Esports Tower player or players, depending on how the roster's divvied up between, like, are there going to be 2 outside and 1 Esports Tower player, or vice versa? And if it is 1 Esports Tower player with 2 from the outside of the organization itself, I really hope they have, like, some sort of friendship or pre-existing, like, they've played pickup games together before, and that they have enough trust in one another to designate an in-game shot caller and, you know, basically do the best that they can tonight, and hopefully we can see a lot from them.
The other teams to watch out for, as we said, that's the Hammerheads, the Lions. They are absolutely unstoppable right now, Nerdy. They are basically joining the Ghosts and the Barracudas as that next dominant Esports Tower team. They went undefeated in Week 5, didn't even drop a single game. We'll see if they can keep that up here tonight. The Mammoths, another team, they've looked very strong but been inconsistent. We'll see if they get a breakthrough here tonight. We'll also have the Gators, Scorpions, and of course, as we talked about, the Hammerheads. So there's newly formed rosters. There's some old favorites returning. It should be a very exciting night here. Again, all of this to determine how these teams will face off in our Cup games next week. And I'm very excited to see. I'm curious if the Lions, hopefully we can maybe see the Barracudas and Ghosts return, because the Lions are making a name for themselves already as that next dominant team. Again, did not lose a single game, not a single series, a single game in Week 5.
That's actually pretty incredible. So let's see if they can keep that up this week. That's kind of a high bar that they already set for themselves. And then in the coming weeks when the Ghosts come back, and even the Eagles, if they can make a comeback as well, they'll have some formative opponents in the form of the Lions. So it'll be exciting to see what they bring to the table tonight and from here on out.
Well, as we get ready to kick this off, we do want to remind everyone on Twitch to support your team, celebrate your successes, be respectful to the other fans, and mods remove anyone who violates the chat. Sometimes that mod is docs. You got to be on your best behaviors. We get to docs keys of the game in Rocket League. Those are create mistakes, punish the overcommit, don't overstay, and bump and demo to disrupt. It's presented by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank off. As you're ready to kick this one off, if you're just joining us, the way it'll work, we'll have a couple highlight matches. We'll take a look at one full game from our best of 3 series, and then we'll have a premiere match, which is the full-length series. We'll do that a couple of times throughout the night to hopefully get a look at every single team. And it's 2 teams we talked about that are kicking things off here, Nerdy. It's the Lions, who have not lost, taking on the Hammerheads, who again are a new team, so we're going to be very curious how they perform in a very, very tough first game for them.
The odds are not stacked in the favor of the Hammerheads, but I have hope for them, and honestly praying they bring out their best performance tonight and don't dishearten themselves if they do not perform as well as they hope so in this first game, considering it's the Lions.
The Lions, again, have not dropped a game in almost 3 weeks. Let's kick it off. Our first highlight match of the night. Lions taking on Hammerheads in a round 1 matchup. Again, the Lions looking to make it 3 straight weeks since they've lost the match. The Hammerheads, a completely new team. As we kick this off, the Hammerheads already off to an early start here, as they're going to get a long clear down into the corner, but it looks like Tater is there, going to go up on the wall and immediately blast it back to the orange side. What a great start here.
There was a great stop there down at the bottom by one of the Hammerheads players. Unfortunately, they did lose their dribble, and Tater will capitalize on that and take advantage, getting that first goal, not even full 30 seconds elapsing.
This Lions roster of Thrift, Jababy, and Wild have just been so incredibly strong, as Wild gets a pass over to Jababy on the wall. Thrift comes in, but it's actually stopped by Levi Psychosis, who dribbles it around one, has Tater long downfield. That pass, unfortunately not able to complete it without any boost, and it gets reset, and the Lions now looking to add another one.
The Lions did a great job jumping into that passing lane, grabbing that ball, but there was a double commit. Thankfully, no one capitalized on that from the Hammerheads against them. They get a shot on goal, and it's going to go in after some awkward ping-pong action between 2 cars there.
I think Wilds looked like maybe they were trying to go with the bump and demo to disrupt and ended up with the ball right in front of them. That was kind of odd, as you mentioned, Dirty. As we get Psychosis, they look pretty strong off the back wall. Agrees coming in a little bit late, though, and that shot is going to go high, and there's no follow-up for the Hammerhead, so another golden opportunity missed as they look to set one up. You've got Wilds in front of the net, but Tater with a fantastic steal there, going to force a reset here from the Lions.
Psychosis did a nice pop there, but the follow-up was a little bit too late. They do still, the Hammerheads maintaining a little bit of possession, but then, you know, Jababy comes in, steals that ball away, and it's now coming off the back wall to one of their teammates.
Oh, Jababy nearly had it. Some great defense here for the Hammerheads. Wilds off the wall. Psychosis and Tater double commit on it, but they do clear it away. Ball gets centered back up here. Wilds in a great spot, but eats a huge demolition. But it might not matter as the Lions still have pressure. It does take a funky hop off Thrift. There's no way you plan that to be a pass, Thrift, but it ends up working out as they'll try one more time, but I think Psychosis is going to get this in the corner.
Psychosis has had fantastic rotations thus far. They've been rotating back to the back post after they've taken their initial shot, allowing the fallout from their teammates, and just not left that goal open. Hopefully that's something we don't see break down here in the future.
Another dribble up here for Psychosis. The Lions starting to push their advantage, but now an opening for the Hammerheads. A great solo play off the crossbar, but Agree and Tater ran into each other. A huge double commit cost the Hammerheads an open net opportunity. And now on the other end, oh, a nice steal. I thought Jababy was going to get that for free.
But it was Psychosis who just came back so fast, grabbed that ball, gets a nice shot on goal, but it's turned away by, I believe that was Wilds there at the corner, and they still get a nice clear back to the midfield, and the elevation that comes out from one of the Hammerheads is not high enough, forcing a double commit back at the net.
Here comes Tater up along the sidewall. Got Psychosis near midfield, looking for the pass. Going to drop it down right in front of the net. Psychosis will try and keep the play alive off the backboard as we see Agree flying in, and now they've got to retreat in a hurry. Long pass over to Jababy. Doesn't get a great touch on it, though. Leaves it for Thrift. It gets dunked over by Psychosis. Here comes the Hammerheads, but they can't quite convert on the pass, and it looks like Wilds will make the easy save.
It does make it across that midfield stripe with an unfortunate not high enough elevation there, but Psychosis got the save, sends it back to the mid. It's now past that midfield stripe area. Wilds is rotated back towards the goal, but it's going to roll in over Wilds.
Hammerheads have done a great job keeping this game close. Tater gets the goal, rolls past Wilds, as Nerdy said, and just like that, the Lions maybe a little bit iffy here as that net's wide open, but Psychosis' shot gets turned away at the last minute by Wilds. A fantastic save for the Lions. Only a minute 40 left in this one. Wilds looking for Jababy. You can see pre-jumping this in midair, but unfortunately that pass gets denied, and Psychosis gets a huge clear, but it is stopped by Thrift.
It's right in front of the net now. It does look like we've got Agree who gets a touch on it, sending it to Psychosis, who played around one, but they could not play it around Jababy there, who's going to take it back to the midfield.
Oh, they get a great dunk over a member of the Hammerhead. Psychosis barely sneaks it past Thrift. Ball's going to land right in front of the net, but it does get pushed away, and the Lions will once again go retreating. Agree. Nice challenge. Can't quite get to the ball in time. Here's Wilds. Overdrives it, so Psychosis gets a free play on the net, but Jababy able to turn that away. We hear a demo off screen. I think that was onto a Hammerheads player, so that will slow down this push as we have 50 seconds left.
It's still only a one goal differential territory here. No one has a safety goal just yet. So Hammerheads have the opportunity to bring this around and bring us into overtime if they can score at least one here. Tater has the ball. Will they be able to find the connection to get the back of the net? They'll find an open net for themselves. They don't need the help. And now we've got 35 seconds for someone to find an extra goal.
Lions full over pursuit on that one. That was kind of interesting, but Tater gets blasted out of the way by a teammate. That opens the net up. Wilds barely misses the go-ahead goal. Thrift trying to keep it alive in the corner. Gets knocked out of the way by Agree. Jababy will pop it up in the air. Look to center it, but a huge demo cuts down that passing lane. Thrift can't quite get there in time. And with 15 seconds left, we look like we're headed to overtime unless Wilds can make a play on the ball, but it gets stolen away.
Got Jababy who gets a great clear, but now we are at that 5-second territory. It doesn't matter. The Lions will find the back of the net. 5 seconds left. Will there be a buzzer beater goal here coming out from the Hammerheads to find the equalizer?
Need a good kickoff. That's a great start, but Psychosis then gets knocked out of the way. Thrift's just going to air dribble at the length of the field. Looks like the Hammerheads have to try and carry it, but they cannot, and they ended up losing the series overall. That was a fantastic job by the Hammerheads. We'll get to that in a moment, though. because you could see just how far the Hammerheads got using their teaming skills in just the first game we've been able to see from them. Really excited to see what the Hammerheads can do for the rest of the night, because they were phenomenal playing against the unstoppable Lions and nearly got it to overtime. Esports Tower really takes time to create teams of well-matched teammates. I'm going to give a shout out to all of the coaches. If you're watching and you haven't checked out Esports Tower clubs yet, you should. It's the fast track to rank up. And really a phenomenal effort there, Nerdy, by the Hammerheads. Looked like they had a chance to go to overtime. A late goal by Jababy ends up ruining that, but a great first appearance for them in this Rumble, even though they lost. That is a huge statement to challenge the Lions till the very end.
I really hope we see them come back, and I also hope for Esports Tower's sake that they're able to recruit those two players that were involved that were not from the organization. They did very well, and a 2-0 scoreboard does not by any means reflect how that game itself and all the games in that series went, because that first one was absolutely phenomenal. I can only imagine that the other ones were just as good, if not better.
We get another chance to take a look at the Hammerheads. Our next highlight match is going to be the Hammerheads taking on the Gators. As we just saw, Hammerheads lost to the Lions. The Gators also looking to bounce back. They lost 2-0 to the Scorpions in the first round. So we'll see who can come out on top. If the Hammerheads played the Lions that closely, I feel like they could definitely cause some damage in this group stage. Meanwhile, the Gators roster have been together for a while, have been working hard to improve individually as a team. One of the lower ranked teams in this Rumble, but the coaches say that they can impress and they can hang with absolutely anybody, and a win over the Hammerheads is a huge statement, because again, the Hammerheads are looking like maybe one of the better teams. So let's hop right into it and see who comes out on top in our next highlight game. Gators or Hammerheads? It's a battle of some aquatic animals. I guess they never run into each other, hopefully.
I hope not. Psychosis in the last game did a fantastic job playing an all-around well-rounded player as well as being a defender. I'm really hoping they can capitalize on that a little bit more here. However, the Gators might seek to just constantly keep Psychosis out of the game.
Oh, what a play from Psychosis. Forces the goalie to allay the demo, and Tater with a fantastic shot right outside the box puts the Hammerheads up early. Altac with a great win on the kickoff. Ball ends up going to the blue side, however, as Tater now looking for a repeat. Psychosis just running some interference. Does a great job, but unfortunately that shot can't quite connect.
The clear is stopped there by one of the Hammerheads players, but right in front of the goal, it's going to be popped down by one of the Gators. A demolition will come out onto them as a result of it, though. Wi-Fi trying to steal the ball away here, but does overdrive it slightly. Now we've got a nice flip over here towards the goal. It gets turned away at the last second.
Gators still can't quite find a clear. Altac now going to launch it down. Great stop by Agree, with the ball still rolling towards the net. Psychosis, a fantastic spike, really making a name for themselves early on, as Tater looking to dribble it upfield. Wants to pass to Psychosis, ends up working out. That looked kind of weird. Going to try and double tap it. Ball still in front of the net, but unfortunately no one from the Hammerheads in rotation.
Psychosis did a great job of stopping, allowing for an easy pass to them. The stall out probably took control of the tempo there for a little bit in favor of the Hammerheads, and probably confused the Gators just as it confused you, Fish.
Psychosis picks up that one. They are absolutely playing phenomenal tonight. What a great kickoff here for the Hammerheads. It's a scary spot if you're a Gators fan. Agree shot's going to go wide. To follow up from Psychosis goes to the other side of the net, but the pressure is all on the Hammerhead side right now.
We've got Tater coming in, trying to steal that ball away. It does end up getting spiked high. Gators still maintaining possession. Unfortunately, do ram into each other just slightly there. They have like a 75% possession of this ball right now, but Psychosis comes in and gets a nice tap over towards the side. And now Gators have an opportunity here to try and turn this around, but Tater still has a lot of possession.
Fiery Minstrel able to get a clear here. Psychosis going up on the wall, looking to try, and oh, what a flip reset! It's right in front of the net. That's some great defense by the Gators.
That was stylish coming out from the Hammerheads. Nicely done to stop that one from the Gators. Now, unfortunately, though, it's still going to go into their net. They overcommitted just a little bit on that clear, and now they're down by 3, but you still have 2 minutes, 48 seconds. Plenty of time to score 3 goals for the Gators.
Oh, Fiery Minstrel with a great win there. Psychosis over in the corner. Gets a great demo. Agree. Passes it down to Psychosis. But Fiery Minstrel's going to be there. Altac up on the wall. Pass down. Psychosis is in a great spot, but another fantastic save by the Gators.
It looks like the Hammerheads going for a slight reset there. The ball's going to get just slammed down towards the Hammerheads' goal. There's an open net, and it will find it. Gators now only down by 2. Hammerheads have that security goal, even if one is scored by the Gators here on this kickoff. Let's see. Unfortunately, Wi-Fi, it looks like, did not get the better of that touch. It's going to go off the wall. Gators will lose possession, and Tater has the opportunity to bring this back up.
Tater with a great carry over the wall. Psychosis was waiting for the Spider-Man play. Can't quite find it. Agree just misses. And I think, Nerdy, we might have our team that now hates the crossbar. I don't know how many times the Hammerheads have hit it. I've honestly lost count.
It's a love-hate relationship depending on which side you're on. I mean, if you're the defender, you're probably very happy about that. But unfortunately, Gators, you may need to go to counseling with that crossbar. They might have some unfinished and unrecognized issues.
Oh, Psychosis carrying it, making a great name for themselves here. Looks like we did get a bit of a pause. Here it comes. Not going to fool his teammates, though, and Psychosis almost converts another one, but the Hammerhead's in complete control with about 90 seconds left.
Gators have had really strong defense. They got one goal so far. Let's see if they can manage to get a nice clear off of this one here. They just need to spread out a little bit, but that passing lane disrupted by Tater, who's pulling it all the way back towards their own goal, playing it off the back wall. We do have Fiery come in, but it's not fast enough. The possession's still in favor of the Hammerheads here.
Another chance for Psychosis. What can All-Tac do? Never mind, it's Fiery Minstrel who comes in. Feels like maybe Psychosis showing off a bit too much here, but with his team having a two-goal lead with a minute left. Can't blame him, trying to make a name for himself as he goes over that one. Fiery Minstrel makes a great save. Wi-Fi can't clear it, though, and the Hammerhead just have so much side control right now.
Honestly, the Gators have been doing great. They just need a little bit more space between one another to really get these clears to go in their favor. And unfortunately, take out Psychosis as often as you can because they are just all over the place right now, and they are the dominating force on this field.
Chance here for the Gators to push this upfield, get back within a goal, but a huge demo from the Hammerheads. They're a very physical team as well. Gotten quite a number of demos as now Psychosis looking to carry this one. Gets a chance to. One touch, tries to sneak it around, All-Tac, but once again hits the crossbar this time.
Follow-up, though.
Woo, Tater with the hat trick as well. We've been praising Psychosis, but it's Tater who's actually been popping off.
It looks like Wi-Fi is experiencing some unfortunate Wi-Fi issues there. Hopefully that works out, as we do see the Gators had a nice touch there, but most of them were stacked in almost a horizontal line, so no one was able to follow up on that nice touch at the midfield. Wi-Fi still has possession of the ball, plays it around one. They've got 4 seconds. Can they play it around another? They won't be able to fully close the gap, but they can start to shrink it.
Hammerheads end up winning that one 2-0, and a great performance from them. The Gators looking like a decent roster again, though. You know, they are a little bit of an underdog here, but I thought they had some very impressive moments. And we'll get to wrap up our round one action with more Hammerheads action, Nerdy. We're just getting the full view of this team. Now we get the full series of them taking on the Mammoths, who the Mammoths have had some very impressive times recently. They've also come on some hard times as well. So I'm curious how the Hammerheads will match up against the Mammoths, because I feel like this is kind of like our battle for maybe the second place spot behind the Lions.
I feel like the Hammerheads' Achilles heel in this case will be Psychosis, because they are both very gifted. They're all over the place. They're rotating back to the goal very quickly. I mean, multiple times we saw them take a shot, and then as the return was happening, they were at least one car length ahead of the other team who's trying to go after their goal. So long as Psychosis keeps that up, doesn't go for the flashy plays like we saw there near the end, it might work out in the Hammerheads' favor, but the Mammoths do have a very strong defense, and so long as their crossbar relationship is better than the teams that we saw in the last couple of games, I feel like they also have an opportunity to come out on top of this one.
As we said, battle for second place, most likely the Lions just looking very dominant. We're going to see more of them later on tonight. They've already beat the Hammerheads. The Hammerheads get a comeback win over the Gators. Let's hop into game number one of this best of three. Hammerheads and Mammoths kicking things off already. And once again, it is pressure here for the Hammerheads, who potentially have a new player in. Couldn't quite see their name, but it definitely was not Agree, excuse me. So we'll keep an eye on that. Looks like it's Vibes, but meanwhile, the Mammoth's going to get a free open net goal.
I don't even know really what happened there, but nicely done, Mammoths.
Mammoths might get another one as Potato. Oh, Vibes makes a great save. Endercrafter off the back wall. Potato, who has been really an MVP for this Mammoths team, making a great play over in the corner. Has a teammate near midfield trying to set it up for Endercrafter, who just misses. But Potato ends up getting their own rebound, hits off the crossbar. It's a great start for the Mammoths in this series.
We did get a nice save off that rebound too, but unfortunately it was disrupted by one of the Mammoth players. Potato now rotating back, decides to not go for the demolition on the first one, but goes for the second, opening the opportunity for the Mammoths to bring this one back. They're now in the corner on the side of the Hammerheads. They've had dominating side control here in this first minute. See if they can keep it up as the Hammerheads are now turning this one around, playing it around not one, but two members of the Mammoths.
Oh,
Net's
no.
open, but the crossbar is no one's friend tonight, and that does allow the Mammoths to get it over into the corner.
Oh, no. And it looks like a last attempt there from Vibes is not going to land. Mammoths, oh, what a great fake, though. Tater keeps it alive, trying to center it over to Vibes, but ends up playing it themselves, and Endercrafter will look for the clear. Here comes, looks like that's Vibes. Shot is turned away. Great clear from the Mammoths, and hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and you just have your opponent hit the crossbar.
I can't argue with you on that one. However, I feel very bad for the Hammerheads having experienced that. Let's hope their next shot doesn't get turned away by the crossbar. They have an opportunity here. Unfortunate misplay there by one of the Mammoths. It went over them, so they miscalculated their elevation. Does get turned back from that shot on goal, though, by Endercrafter.
Still a great chance here for the Hammerheads. Tater gonna steal that one. Psychosis is shot high. There was a rebound attempt. There still is, as everybody on the Mammoths missed, but no one got there for the Hammerheads. Finally, Tater gets there, but everyone had been able to recover. Ball still in front of the net. Finally, Not Earth is going to be able to clear it all the way down to the other side. Can't quite dunk it over Psychosis, though, as Tater launches a long shot. But Potato is sort of enemy, I guess, in terms of the potatoes, able to make that save.
They did collide with Psychosis there in mid-flight as well. They turned it around. They still have it over here on the side of the Hammerheads. There was a double commit that came out from the Hammerheads as well, leaving just Psychosis in the goal. It doesn't matter. Psychosis, a fantastic defender, will turn it to the side, allowing Tater here to take it off the wall, see if they'll maintain possession. They will not, because just the disruption play there, enough for them to lose their dribble. Hammerheads maintaining possession, though, and unfortunate clear to the mid will not find anyone for them. The Mammoths now have a little bit more possession here, playing it off that back wall.
Vibes does keep it alive right at the halfway mark, and now they have a great chance. We get a demo onto one of the Mammoths players. Endercrafter underjumps the ball. Potato has to make a last-second save. Vibes looking for the rebound, but not quite able to find it. And now Potato looking for the insurance goal. Can't quite find it. Tater's shot is wide. Psychosis racing in, wants to challenge Endercrafter, but the ball just gets played around, and Vibes at least makes a stop on it, but the Mammoths are able to secure the clear anyway.
There was some nice air control there by Vibes. Unfortunately, you hang on to it for too long, it will get stolen away. The Mammoths trying to take advantage of that steal, but Demolition will come out onto one of them. Now we have the Hammerheads bringing it up past that midfield area. It hit down right in front of the goal, but the angle was just not right. Now it's being just ping-ponged around by a few players, and it looked like Not Earth grabbed it, played it around one, but gets demoed by another.
Tater gonna get a long clear. Could probably play their own rebound, but Endercrafter will get a nose on it. Now here comes Vibes. Not Earth will basically do the exact same thing, a bit of deja vu. And now able to dribble it up the field, trying to get it around. One last member gonna flick it up in the air, but Psychosis will make the great save, so the Hammerheads still have a chance to tie this game.
Not Earth decided to keep it on the ground that time as opposed to going off the wall, which did spell their doom on the last attempt they made. See if they can get another shot here. They did steal the ball away, but no one got nice possession of it. Not Earth now has it, has to play it around one, but will lose out their dribble to that Hammerheads member. And it was Vibes who sends it up. Tater's there for the follow-up, and now we are at one aside with 21 seconds left on the clock.
It's a very close game. We'll see if the Hammerheads can do like the Lions did to them and score a last-second goal, and they have a great chance. It's a huge demo onto Tater's going to slow things down. Psychosis gets possession at midfield, tries to elevate over Not Earth, and does. Gets bumped out of the way, though. Ball still on the orange side, but Potato will clear it away. Last chance for either team, 4 seconds left. Endercrafter misses on it. Vibes just going to try and take a shot, but the game ending, and we go to overtime.
Going that first kickoff of this overtime, and it looked like the Hammerheads got the better touch, but the follow-up was in favor of the Mammoths. Not Earth now bringing it up towards the net. Unfortunately, will lose their dribble. There's a follow-up shot there and a second follow-up by Endercrafter. Neither of them will find the back of the net, though, unfortunately. Ball still on the side of the Hammerheads. Not Earth stopping that from going back to the midfield. Still, though, the defense is strong for the Hammerheads.
Potato, one more chance. Can't quite find it. Can the Hammerheads get a clear here? No, they cannot. Endercrafter resets it. Potato racing Psychosis to the ball, but Psychosis makes a steal. The follow from Not Earth also high, and Endercrafter can't quite corral the ball, but Potato gets another attempt on it. The Mammoths have actually dominated overtime here. Not Earth sets it up perfectly, but the ball hits off the crossbar. All three members of the Hammerheads right next to each other. Another great steal by Potato. Psychosis has to make a save, but Not Earth will keep it alive. These balls basically spent the whole minute on the blue side, Dirty.
The Mammoths definitely the ones in control here. It looks like Hammerheads attempting to make it more in favor of themselves. We have Psychosis elevating with that ball. We'll play it over one, but there's now two in the net for the Mammoths, and just enough disruption will come out for them to lose possession. Now we've got Endercrafter sending it over towards the side. And they will lose their dribble as just one of the Hammerheads comes in to send it over towards the other wall. It's not enough, though. Not Earth has it, just has to play around. Vibes will spike it high after colliding with Not Earth. Now they have the opportunity to turn this around.
Oh, the net was wide open for Psychosis, just could not find it. They want to set up Vibes, but it ends up getting stolen away by Potato as Tater came in as well. Now Not Earth racing up the corner, looking to center it up for a teammate. Basically gets a triple commit from the Hammerheads, but Potato can't get there in time. Psychosis now has an open net, but gets demoed by Not Earth. And we'll play past 2 minutes here in overtime as that centering shot also denied by a demo.
There's still a follow-up attempt. It's in favor of the Hammerheads here. They'll elevate. Unfortunately, Endercrafter will collide with them, allowing for one of their teammates to get possession of it, taking it back towards the midfield. There was a jump into that passing lane by one of the Hammerheads members. It's not quite enough for anyone to get a clean shot on goal as we cross that 2-minute and 15-second mark.
Get another demo there. This could open things up, but Not Earth gets a great dunk. Tater's shot will go wide. They should be able to corral the rebound, though, and keep it alive off the wall. Never mind, Potato gets there in time, but it's up to Psychosis. Gets knocked off the ball. Does recover in midair, but unfortunately, Endercrafter gets one huge shot off the crossbar, and it bounces in off the follow-up, I think. And what a crazy game number one. We still have potentially two more left between these teams, Nerdy.
That was absolutely fantastic. Almost an entire second round was played during that overtime.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the Hammerheads, though, it felt like the pressure kind of got to them during overtime. I don't know if you noticed that, but there was a lot of bunching up. And it could have just been that the Mammoths were, I don't know, turned it up to 11 and just absolutely just destroying. I mean, they were destroying. They took out so many members of the Hammerheads throughout the entire course of overtime. That's something that the Hammerheads will hopefully work on here and try to just olay the demos, as Docs Keys would say, because being down even for 3 seconds is a lot for your team, and the side control is hard to maintain when you're down one player.
Yeah, you made a great point, Ernie. I think part of the reason that it felt so dominant is we just saw like triple commits in front of the net by the Hammerheads on repeat. The fact that they didn't get punished on any of those triple commits is very impressive. I know the Mammoths hit the goal or the crossbar 2 or 3 times, but you're right. It felt like as soon as overtime started, the Hammerheads played very defensively, very scared. We'll see what the Mammoths can do as Tater now kicks this one off. Endercrafter almost has an opportunity for a free shot on goal, but Psychosis makes a great save. It looks like the Hammerheads have recovered in the break in between games, and they're ready to go as they're firing on all cylinders.
We do have Endercrafter get a nice steal at the mid, playing it off the corner. There's no one there for the follow-up just yet. We do have Not Earth come in. It's going to be a little high. The follow-up touch does not have enough momentum in the forward direction to go towards the net, unfortunately, as we do have Not Earth sending it back over towards the Hammerhead side when they tried to clear it there.
Ooh, Psychosis with a great play. Kind of been quiet in game number one. They have a great setup here, but Not Earth clears it away. Vibes one more time in front of the goal, but Potato steals that pass. Tater waits a little bit too long on it, so Potato able to get a great play. We hear a demo off screen. Don't know who was on. I think it was a member of the Mammoths, as we do not see their third member in the picture. So that'll be an easy clear as now Endercrafter's back in the game.
And as they come back, they steal the ball away, spiking it high, allowing Not Earth to get a touch on it, but no one gets to stop to allow for a corral to happen. We do have Endercrafter taking it up the side, tries to play it around one of the Hammerheads members, does not manage to do that, but Potato saves it there at the mid, so they maintain possession here. Now, it looks like Psychosis had a chance there, but did lose their dribble.
Tater gonna clear it over to Psychosis, who's waiting on the wall, centers it up for Vibes, who sneaks it in. A great little team play there on a wide open net.
Right down into the corner, too. That what Unfortunate slight overcommit there by the Mammoths, but Hammerheads looking good for this game. Let's see if they can keep this one going, as there's an unfortunate double commit from both sides there at the corner.
We do see Endercrafter clear it away, not Earth. Looking to follow up on their game-winning goal in game number 1, but can't find the back of the net. Now Psychosis racing up the field, gets stopped by Protato, but Tater pass to Vibes. Double commit from the Mammoths, but they get possession of the ball, so it appears that that was worth it. We do see another demo come out, and I think that one was from the Hammerheads.
The ball does get stopped right in front of the goal, and we did have Endercrafter have 2 members of the Hammerheads collide with them from behind to try and steal the ball away from them. Psychosis, though, ultimately end up taking it away. It's down here in the corner. 2 members, all 3 members of the Mammoths waiting in the goal. Not the best positioning to be in if they're looking for a clear. They do have Protato trying to bring it up the side. It gets taken away by one of the Hammerheads members. It's going to be stopped, though. Now we've got Not Earth, who's kind of cherry picking here, but will get the ball stolen away by Tater.
Oh, Psychosis shot goes high. Vibes trying to sneak it in. Can't quite find it. Half of game number 2 gone. Not Earth plays it over to Endercrafter, who pops it up in the air. I think they were expecting Protato. Never mind, maybe that was a steal. I think that was Tater, actually. Got my cards confused. I thought they were looking for a steal there, as Vibes now gets a great steal near midfield and going to start clearing it down. Protato trying to get there, but Tater's shot is wide.
Psychosis still maintaining the ball possession here on the side of the Mammoths. Plays it around 1, has to play it around 2, though, with no help from their teammates as they've already rotated back. Now we see the clear coming out from the Mammoths, crosses the midfield stripe. It's going to be stopped, but it's not enough in order for the Mammoths to stop going towards that goal as a demolition comes out onto one of the Hammerheads, but unfortunately the reset's already been determined as the ball's carried towards the net, but enough disruption will happen and they lose out on their dribble.
Tater does keep it alive. Ball still in front of the net. We saw the Hammerheads almost full commit as Vibes comes racing in from the defender position. Tries to pinch it off the wall to Psychosis, who's going to hop up in the air, look for a second touch on it. Nobody can find the ball. Finally, Protato does.
Tater tried to play it around one of the Hammerheads. They did lose out, and helpful follow-up from Endercrafter will keep the ball in possession of the Mammoths. Now they're pushing forward. All 3 members here, one staying at the mid, which is great. As we see Notter take a shot. It hits the top crossbar. Protato, see if they can get anything to happen here. They will not, as the Hammerheads get a nice clear. And the rotation's already come out from the Mammoths, but it might not be soon enough, and just in time they saved that ball.
Oh, they left that ball for Protato, so Tater steals it away over to Vibes, who hits the crossbar once again. The Hammerheads have had no luck as Protato takes it coast to coast, turned away by Tater. One last chance for Endercrafter off that side wall, and they're not going to find it as that ball gets pinched all the way back to the orange corner. Psychosis racing. Protato ends up winning that race, but Not Earth will get the clear.
Tater stops it right at the mid, has a centering shot, but Endercrafter gets in that passing lane, taking it away. We've got 25 seconds left on the clock for the Hammerheads to find that one equalizer goal to bring us into overtime. Tater, though, might find the security goal instead. Never mind. Endercrafter will send it back towards the midfield, get it away from Psychosis there. The rotation's already come out from the Hammerheads. They're back in the net. Protato has a shot that gets turned away, though, by Psychosis.
5 seconds left. That is a huge clear by Tater and Vibes. They're going to be able to basically kill all of the time. Now the Mammoths have to go coast to coast, and it looks like that will not happen. The ball will touch the ground, and we will reset for a game 3, Nerdy, between these 2 teams who look very, very evenly matched so far in this series.
The one thing that I really hope changes in this next one is the double commits that the Mammoths were having. The Hammerheads in the first one had, in the first game that we saw them this evening, not this series, had more double commits than they did in this one. So they obviously improved. They had an opportunity, took those, 5 2-minute breaks that they got, had their coaches in their ear and who were just like, stop double committing, talk to each other. That has cleaned up phenomenally, but they need to stop getting demoed, because that is definitely the advantage that the Mammoths have been creating for themselves. They didn't capitalize on it in this game, but they have the chance to do it in this next one, as it's still one aside, basically 0-0, and this is winner take all.
I think the demo is a great point, because there was one time where the Mammoths got a clean demo onto the goalie. The net was wide open, and they just couldn't quite convert. So you're right, the Hammerheads still have to figure that part out. It's right off the kickoff. Tater nearly has a fantastic start. Endercrafter, oh, risky back pass there. Luckily hits above the net, and now will be able to clear it all the way the length of the field. Psychosis going to recover it, though, and set something up for the Hammerheads.
That was a beautiful trap by Psychosis as they played around one of the Mammoths. They do drop it down to, I believe that was Vibes, but unfortunately Vibes just got that double touch. You got to go give and go. You can't maintain it when there's two members of the Mammoths hot on your tires. Mammoths take advantage of that. Potato has a shot on goal that's going to be unfortunately turned away by Psychosis.
Tater racing upfield. Ooh, Vibes barely missing on the pass, but Psychosis keeps it alive, ends up playing it himself as Psychosis now will pass it back. Here comes Tater, going to elevate, take a shot. Psychosis tried to race into Demo, the goalie, but couldn't quite get there in time. Vibes keeping the play alive for the Hammerheads. Gets it around one, gets it around a second, but once again, the Hammerheads roll the ball off the crossbar.
We do have Psychosis come in, though, and it hit off one of the members of the Mammoths there, I think, and still managed to find the back of the net on a weird follow-up touch from Psychosis themselves.
Not quite sure how that ball honestly went in. I think you're right, Ernie. I think it might have ended up hitting off a member of the Mammoths as we do get a bit of a double commit here from the Hammerheads as Not Earth will roll that ball on net. Tater will make an easy save, pass it down to Vibes. We hear a demo off screen. Don't know who it was on. Looks like it was probably on a Psychosis, so Potato can clear it upfield. Gets the ball dunked right over him, though. Great job there by Tater.
We've got Potato and Not Earth rotating back. It does have Psychosis get a nice touch on it, sending it to the back wall. A demolition comes out. Not sure if that was a double. Well, there's double demo anyway. And now we've got Endercrafter sending it up towards the goal. It will be dropped down by Vibes with a follow-up from Psychosis, who can bring it down here in the corner. They have to beat around Not Earth, and they have to beat Endercrafter. Potato gets a touch, but Tater steals it away from their Potato friend. Not Earth and Endercrafter, unfortunately, will collide as they try to get a clear on that ball.
Ooh, Not Earth pops it up in the air. Tater ended up just going to take that one. Potato misses on it. And kind of hesitation from him and Endercrafter make it so the ball gets pushed back. And now we see Tater center it up over to Vibes. Bad pass, though. It's a bit high, so Vibes has to go backwards to recover it. We see a demo in front of the net as well, so Psychosis is able to clear it away safely.
Endercrafter now has the ball. Let's see if they can center it to one of their teammates. Unfortunately, Vibes will beat anybody else to that ball. Tater now has a shot on goal, and it will just bounce over two members of the Mammoths to find the back of that net.
It's a great play by Tater. I think if he goes for a power shot, that ball probably gets saved. So instead, just spiked it into the ground, let it bounce up high in the air, and neither goalie for the Mammoths could recover in time. Now the Mammoths already have some great pressure, but Tater clears it away. Endercrafter keeps it alive, has two teammates next to the Hammerheads goal. But there is Psychosis. They're going to try and play it off the ceiling. It's an easy dunk for Potato, though, to start the Mammoths going in the right direction.
It looked easy, but in all honesty, trying to calculate the aerial play there from both sides is difficult, so props to you, Potato. Endercrafter now has possession of the ball. Unfortunately, it gets stolen away by one of the members of the Hammerheads. Turned back, though, by Potato at the midfield. Endercrafter still over here, as is Not Earth. Let's see if one of them can find the shot. There's a nice centering. Oh, woo. Yes! Okay. One goal territory. Hammerheads still have that security goal, but they cannot sit comfortably just yet. Still a minute 48 seconds left.
Mammoths, if they had not been able to find that goal, it would have been so disappointing. Meanwhile, they immediately turn it. Potato just misses the rebound. Ball still in front of the net. But there was no one there in the rotation. The Hammerheads defense getting a little bit lucky now as Vibes carries it the length of the field, gets it around one, gets it around two, bumps Potato out of the way. Psychosis going to center it up and ends up hitting it in themselves. A fancy little play there.
That is an awkward angle to try and get that in, so nicely done finding the back of the net on that one.
That was a great shot by Psychosis as Vibes now looks to get a touch on it, but it's stolen by Not Earth, and just like that, we're back to a one-goal game.
Can't sit comfortably, Hammerheads, not until that final buzzer goes off, as Not Earth just demonstrated. There's 4 touches on the ball there off that kickoff, though, and it does end up with the Hammerheads having the ball on their side of the field. Not something they really want to be dealing with. They get a nice clear, sending it over to Vibes, but Vibes will lose out on their dribble right in front of the goal.
Oh, Protato gets a great dunk over Tater. Double commit from the Hammerheads. Great time to potentially punish. Endercrafter racing down. Gets one touch on it before Tater will steal the boost away from them and beat them to the ball. Tater pinches it off that side wall. Now going to race down to the other corner, but Protato will beat him to it. Now Protato looks to pass it over to Endercrafter. A double commit, but it doesn't matter.
What? That was like from at the midfield strike from Endercrafter.
Does great pass, great shot. Maybe going to another overtime game between these two teams. The margin is so thin. And Psychosis is going to lob it on net, look to make a play on their rebound. Ends up bailing out, though, and Endercrafter, for a moment, looked like they had a chance, and Vibe shot gets saved by Not Earth.
It is stopped, though, before crossing that midfield area, and that crossbar was their friend this time for the Hammerheads. It gave enough of an angle for it to go in. 17 seconds left. If the Mammoths want to bring this back, they need to score off this kickoff.
Ball pops up in the air. Looks like great chance here for the Mammoths. Psychosis, though, steals it away. 2 seconds left. Mammoths have to race down, but the ball will touch the ground, so the Hammerheads will come out victorious. But that was an insanely close series. We've talked about the Mammoths. They were looking for their breakout series, their breakout rumble. This could still be it because, I mean, just like one or two things go differently and the Mammoths could win that series. That's how close those two teams are.
The Mammoths did phenomenal that game. I mean, once again, that scoreboard does not reflect how hard that game went and how great of a game it was overall.
Well, you can see from those two teams, Nerdy, that going at it alone can only get you so far. If you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. We saw Psychosis with some great solo plays, but the Hammerheads didn't start scoring until he got the rest of his team involved. And I thought the Mammoths, on the other hand, had some great team setups as well. You can see how far the Mammoths have come and really how great the Hammerheads are already. Esports Tower really takes time to create teams of well-matched teammates. I want to give a shout-out to all of the coaches if you're watching and haven't checked out Esports Tower clubs yet, you should. It's the fast track to rank up. We've got plenty of group stage action ahead of us, Nerdy, but I think the Hammerheads, we saw 3 of their games. They went 2-1 overall in those series. They're looking like a very strong contender to be one of the top seeds going into next week's Cup games.
Just got to clean up a couple of things because there is time for VOD review to happen between now and next week for everyone that was here tonight, even those teams that they did not play against, and those double commits that they had happening and over commits that they also did will be punished next week by some of the other teams that are in this rumble. So they got to watch out and be careful and clean those things up.
Well, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more group stage action. I think we got to focus in on the Lions, our undefeated team who have not dropped a game in 2 weeks. We'll get a chance to look at them right after this break.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back into this broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble, broadcasting it live from the Boise State Gamepads Esports Arena. The Lions have not dropped a map in 2 weeks. They're looking to make it 3 weeks straight. We'll see if that can be changed. We'll get a chance to take a look at 2 of their matchup. Fish and Nerdy here calling all of the action. We know the Hammerheads are going to be strong, but they did lose that one game to the Lions, so we'll see if the Lions can run through the rest of the competition and really cement themselves as that next great Esports Tower team. Feels like we always have one, Nerdy.
Well, if the Lions do manage to keep up an undefeated streak this week, I feel like it basically writes the rest of their gaming history, at least for the remainder of this season. However, a team can always be gunning for them, and if they watch them enough, they'll figure out all of their strategies and just constantly be trying to stop that. So let's hope they don't become too flashy this week.
Well, before we get into the Lions games, we do want to take a moment to congratulate all of our Esports Tower Club members who have graduated from the clubs, have been offered scholarships across the country over the last 3 months. Esports Tower Club members have received over $1.2 million in scholarships awards. These students have not only worked hard on their in-game play, but have worked hard academically as well and have earned these scholarship opportunities. The players that receive these scholarships are talented, hardworking, and driven, and we could not be more excited and proud to see all of the opportunity that these players are getting. And of course, there's always future opportunities around the corner for some of these players, and especially if you're a team like the Lions, you go undefeated, you make a name for yourself. If you're a team like the Hammerheads, up and coming, if you start out with a fantastic first Rumble, that is a great way to make a name for yourself as well. So you see that number only growing for the Esports Tower players. We could not be more excited to see where their future takes you. And hey, don't change your name so we can hopefully follow you at the collegiate level, because that is the hardest thing. We're like, I think I know who that person is, but I mean, some of your names, I get you in your college might tell you, hey, you need to go something a little bit easier. As a caster, we appreciate the one-syllable words, but hopefully we're able to keep a track on all of them. I know some of them are even on the Boise State radar that we might see in coming years as well. But before we hop in to the Lions games, let's go over to Doc's keys of the game. I don't think the Lions need them, but their opponents definitely do if they want to get the upset off, and that is create mistakes, punish the overcommit, don't overstay, and bump and demo to disrupt. It's all brought to us by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You can match with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. So we jump into our next highlight match again. The Lions will be on center stage. We'll get a chance to take one of the few teams we have not seen tonight, the Scorpions, here in a round 4 matchup. Lions have started out exactly where they left off. Scorpion teams have been told there's a lot of potential, a lot of individual strength. We'll see if they can come up with a way to pressure the Lions into a loss.
The phrase individual strength, though, implies that they definitely need to hone in on their group play and make sure they have an in-game lead and they trust that person who's making a lot of the calls. And honestly, I understand wanting to be a playmaker, but you can't be a ball hog when there's 3 of you on the field. Have faith in everyone's ability to play to their strengths.
As you mentioned, actually, just to get told that the Scorpions, this is actually their first event together as a team. So, as we said, strong individual players definitely means that team play might be a bit lacking, but we talk about it all the time. I think the Esports Tower really does create very well matched teams. I mean, look at the Lions. That was a team of players. They kind of all grouped them together, and they have exploded with talent. So we'll see, can individual strength take down is it a Pride?
It's a Pride.
That's right. There we go. I knew my Lion King watching would pay off there. We'll see what the Pride of Lions can do here as Thrift with the immediate kickoff win, but a great clear back and a double commit already here for the Lions, but Thrift keeps carrying it upfield, going to leave it for Jababy in the corner.
Jababy gets a nice centered up opportunity. It's just a little bit too high, and there's not enough follow-up from one of their teammates. Now we have the opportunity for the Scorpions to turn this one around. Thrift, though, waiting right there at the midfield, will turn away that attempt for the clear.
A couple of members of the Scorpions that we recognize. Z Hydra, definitely been a standout player on some different Esports Tower clubs, so it's a very strong individual team, as we mentioned. Is Wild's now going to leave it up for a little bit of a double commit there, but they do still get the shot off. Thrift able to recover. We get a demo in front of the net, and so the Scorpions now racing down the field. It's a one-on-one, but a huge save by Wilds.
Greed tried to maintain possession, but just could not. They've rotated back now. Sadness and Greed. The pass back was a little bit risky there, but it worked out in their favor. There is an attempt to bring this one forward, but a double commit from the Lions will be enough to stop it from finding the back of the net. Greed, though, stopping at the midfield, tries to pass it to Sadness there, but unfortunately it was overdrove.
Ooh, Z Hydra ends up running into Greed there, stealing the ball away. Z Hydra trying to pull off the 1v3. Can't quite get it done, but a great chance here for the Scorpions. What can Thrift do? Never mind. Wilds makes a save off the crossbar. The follow-up, Greed. What a shot.
Was that all 3 members of the Scorpions there getting a shot on goal?
Yes, I believe that was.
That is some nice teamwork. Could have possibly been an overcommit, but it was worth it in this case.
Jababy able to make a stop on that one as the Scorpions, a lot of pressure right now. Jababy and Z-Hydra going to miss. Here comes Wilds, but a huge clear from Greed. So Thrift will have to simply retreat. Gets demoed by Z-Hydra as well. Chance for the Scorpions to add to their lead. Oh, but the ball takes an awful ricochet for them and bounces right back to their side. But Greed makes a great stop as the last man of defense.
We've got all 3 members of the Lions grouped up here in the corner. Not something you really want to see if you're looking for that secondary touch off a shot on goal. They do manage to stop a clear, though, and have a shot on goal that finds the back. So nicely done, Thrift, on that one.
Thrift, the player that for the Lions, probably you look to it. Oh, we've seen some very unique kickoff strategies here recently. Seen a lot more players try and go for that predicted wide kickoff. As the Scorpions win that with ease, Jababy takes a shot on net. Wilds looking for the play off the wall. Thrift, last man on defense, makes a great clear, but Z-Hydra should be able to corral this and dribble it out for the Scorpions.
They do pass it to Greed, so Jababy gets baited by that one. Greed now has it in the corner, tries to play it back towards Sadness. Sadness's touch was not at the right angle, though, forcing Z-Hydra to move forward. Gets it into the corner, passes it back to Sadness, who passes it to Greed. All 3 of them working together will find the back of the net. Okay, Scorpions, I get it. I was wrong. Your individual skill is great, and your team skill is obviously doing great so far, as that kickoff was just clean and easy for Sadness.
Lions have definitely, they won the first couple kickoffs, and their last few have been kind of odd. Not quite sure what the plan was, but they did make the save there. But the Scorpions had pressure and ends up pinching towards the net. Greed makes a great save right on top of the crossbar. Here comes Thrift, ends up realizing they need to turn around as Jababy's going to corral that. Will they go up in the air? The answer is no, as a double commit comes out from the Scorpions, but no punish here from the Lions just quite yet, as Wilds can't get that ball in front of the net.
We have Thrift trying to play it off that back wall, just not enough speed on that touch, though, in order for it to center up for one of their teammates. Scorpions now have an opportunity to bring this forward. Wilds will jump in, though, dropping it over. One of the Scorpions players has to play it around 2, though, and Z-Hydra will grab it, sending it towards the wall, and Greed will be there for the follow-up to find the clear.
Jababy pass down to Thrift, centers it up for Wilds, who gets demoed, but Jababy was looking for the demo on Z-Hydra so that ball could roll in, but couldn't quite find it. As Wilds one more time off the respawn, pass down to Jababy, can't recenter it, follow-up shot turned away by Greed. The Lions putting a ton of pressure on the Scorpions net. One last chance here, but Sadness gets a great clear all the way to the other end.
Greed tries to elevate to get a touch on it. They unfortunately were not at the right spot. It does end up back over here on the Scorpion side. Z-Hydra turns it around quickly, though. Wilds is back in the net to make sure it's not left open. Now 2 members of the Scorpions are there. It's right above it. Will there be enough of a touch? There will not. I believe it's Jababy now who has it at the midfield. Tries to play it around Z-Hydra, who just chooses to collide with them, forcing them to lose their dribble, and Greed will send it over towards the corner.
Oh, Wilds nearly made a great play on it. 40 seconds left. Thrift's going to put it in front of the net. Scorpions nearing a huge upset. Jababy off the side wall, centers it up. Thrift nearly sneaks it in, but the ball gets cleared. Wilds can't even keep it alive either. It's a great chance for a play here for the Scorpions to give them that insurance goal.
They need to get a good touch on it and get back possession here on the side of the Lions, though, if they want that insurance goal. Unfortunately, though, for them, the Lions get the better of that toss out there at the midfield, allowing them to get it, bring it here to the Scorpion side. Greed gets a pass over towards their teammate, but Thrift will grab it before anyone else can touch it, as the buzzer is approaching at that 5-second mark left. Will that be a goal? It will. 2 seconds left. Will we see a buzzer beater to stop overtime from happening? I don't think so with the pace of this round so far.
Kickoff. Ooh, kept alive by Thrift. Looking to go coast to coast. Passes it over to Wilds. There was more time left. That might have worked, but we'll reset for overtime. And the Lions' undefeated streak barely remains alive. Jababy does get demoed, though. Ball rolls all the way back to that orange corner. And I feel like overtime might favor the Scorpions. They've been the better team so far, Nerdy, as they get a great shot, but it gets turned away.
There's still a follow-up touch, though, that gets centered up by themselves, and there was an attempt by Z-Hydra.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Open net. Not something we want to see. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Okay, all right, Lions. We see you.
Lions, as we see there in the bottom of the scoreboard, didn't end up going on to win the series 2-0. But, I mean, even though they're undefeated, even though they haven't lost a game in potentially 3 more weeks, I think they have a couple of games left, and we'll see one coming up here in a little bit. Their series are so close, 30. They need to go with 2 seconds left to keep that streak alive. Even though they're undefeated, they're a lot closer to the rest of the teams in this Rumble than I was expecting, which is a shout-out to the Scorpions and the Hammerheads in particular.
The Scorpions did so good on that last game. Holy cow, I'm excited to see what they have for the remainder of this Rumble series that we have with them, especially tonight. I mean, for that being their first game together, I would have not known that had they not told us that, because we only saw, like, communication-ish rotation breakdowns maybe once or twice in that first game, and that says a lot to a team that's new.
Well, let's take a look at the Lions in our premier match here in round number 2. They'll be taking on the Gators. The Lions trying to finish with a potential another undefeated group stage, but man, has it been close. Meanwhile, the Gators got off to a rough start, looking to turn things around. We know this is a group of players that are capable of fighting hard and maybe even pulling off the upset, because again, the Lions are not dominating teams in the way that potentially we expected. So let's kick off this series whenever both teams are ready to go. Lions and Gators, best of 3. And we'll see what happens here. Lions once again in the orange, Gators in the blue. Right off the kickoff, Thrift gets a pretty clean win. Ball does go over, and one of the members of the Gators, Fiery Minstrel, can't quite corral it either. Wilds, though, just loses on it, so Altac's able to clear it away.
And Jababy there at the midfield will stop that clear from going too far, but I think that's Altic will get a nice shot on goal. It's turned away by Wilds. There's still a follow-up touch opportunity here, not at the angle they needed or wanted, though, for the Gators. Turning it back around, though, Wilds gets a great clear, and just barely enough of a pinch off there from one of the Gators players will allow it to stop from going into the goal. It's still here, though, on the Gators side.
Gators looking for a clear. Oh, that is a huge demo in front of the net. Fiery gets a touch on it, but Wilds is just going to blast it in top shelf. Give the Lions a lead, and we've been told that Wilds has been a standout for this team in scrims and event games, and it really feels like a game changer, the coaches tell us. When his team's in a close series and needs a goal or maybe even an opening goal, Wilds can perform, and we just saw that right there. We almost saw another one.
Wifey did make a great stop, though. They're barely in the corner. Jababy is rotating back, as is Thrift. And Jababy will find the ball, just not steal it away, though, because the pass back went straight back towards one of the Gators players. Wilds, though, makes a great save right in front of the net. Fiery tries to keep the attempt alive here, but unfortunately the follow-up will be found by Jababy, allowing the Lions to turn this one back towards the Gator side of the field.
Ooh, ball just barely bounces over Jababy. They still end up recovering it. It goes off the back wall, and an own goal there for the Gators, so Jababy will get credit for it.
It happens. It's okay.
It's got to turn things around here. So off that kickoff. Ooh, Jababy. Oh, nearly stole that one away. I thought Thrift might have had a free goal, but a bit of a breakdown there for the Lions.
There was a breakdown for the Gators right before that, too. That kickoff had a double commit for them, which resulted in that open goal opportunity. And now I'm going to just say that that was a playoff from that initial double commit that allowed the Lions to find that third goal there.
The Lions kickoffs have been working wonders as they get another great start here. Thrift's going to play it off back wall to Jababy, who hits the crossbar. The Lions still have a ton of pressure here.
We've got Altic, who gets a touch on it, just pop it high, but unfortunately the Lions have not given up just yet. It goes off the ceiling. Lions still maintaining possession. Looks like they're rotating back a little bit. Jababy has to force themselves all the way back towards the goal. Gets a great stop there, but collides with one of their teammates. Wilds as well will find an opportunity to send it towards the corner, but it almost looked like it was going to go in.
Ooh, a miss there. Altac now in front of the net. Has a great chance, but can't quite power it past Thrift as Fiery does keep it alive. Sets up Wifey, who ends up banging it in, and the Gators get one on the board and are still hanging around in this one.
2 minutes and 45 seconds, plenty of time to find those 2 goals they need to bring them to a tie score here. Lions still are have that security goal even if the Gators do find one, so they have a great opportunity to maintain their lead. They just need to make sure they don't have anything start breaking down because they have that lead.
Fiery able to corral that one in front of the net, ends up knocking Jababy down as well. And the coaches have told us that Fiery is super attentive, has been working to fix his own play and his team play. has very strong motivation to improve, and it's been showing recently off stream, and a great chance to show it here is Fiery looking for that pass down to Alltech. It's a little bit too far in front of him though, so Thrift should be able to corral it. Has a couple of teammates near midfield, but runs out of boost, so cannot correct in midair, and that ball ends up just bouncing in, and it looks like Jababy might have got a nose on it there to get credit for the goal.
You know what, Jababy, it's okay. We'll give it to you.
Yeah, I thought that was Thrift's all the way. I don't know where Jababy touched it, but they pick up a hat trick.
Ooh.
And now Thrift gets a goal, a great one from their own side of the field.
Honestly, Gators, you need to win this kickoff and not let Thrift do what they just did in order to maintain possession of that ball. They are just throwing everyone out of the way, even if they get the better touch from the Gators there. So just honestly, maybe demo Thrift, demo Wilds, one of the two, bring down the player roster just for a couple of moments. Might open up the field enough for the Gators to take advantage of it. They do have an opportunity that's quickly turned away, though, by Jababy.
I think you make a great point there, Nerdy, that the biggest downfall for the Gators so far in this game, number one, has been losing those kickoffs, and it's set up early pressure, and I think 2 or 3 of these Lions goals have come off those kickoff wins as Thrift gets a great play around 2 members of the Gators, but nothing comes from it as a fantastic defensive play is made there. Net's wide open, but the crossbar just really has it out for the Lions so far tonight.
Thankfully, we did not see another accidental own goal. They overdrove it intentionally, realizing the angle they were at would have resulted in it. So nicely done on correcting that one. We do still have a minute left. Getting 4 goals in that amount of time is not unheard of, but it'll be very difficult. Hopefully for the Gators, they can start closing this gap. They're not going to be able to equalize it, but they have a chance right now as Fire gets a great clear over here, over onto the wall. Unfortunately, they do not pursue it, allowing the Lions to just capitalize on that loss of possession for the Gators.
Oh, Jababy misses the ball in front of the open net. Fiery looking to try and flick it out of their own net. Couple of misses from everybody. Wild shot does get turned away. Final 30 seconds of game number 1 here between the Lions and Gators. Thrift looking to make a name, ends up getting taken out of the play by their own teammate. The Lions have had quite a few of those in this game as Fiery tries to get it on net. We do hear a demo come out. I believe it went on to one of the members of the Gators. 14 seconds left. Uh-oh, Jababy nearly puts it in their own net, but they're able to pinch it and keep it away just for the time being.
Got 6 seconds left on the clock. Gators still have possession over here on the side of the Lions, but now Thrift has it, trying to go the length of the field in the air. Will they do it? Oh my goodness, they might. Nope, never mind. The ground is there to save it.
Lions hold on for a pretty strong win, and I think if the Gators correct their kickoffs, as you alluded to, Nerdy, I think that would be a closer game because so many kickoffs just consistently won and either scored right off of or 3 or 4 attempts later, and the ball had been on the blue side that whole time.
You also mentioned it earlier, the Lions don't really need these Docs keys to the game, but the teams that they're going against really do, and I feel like the Gators need to listen to the reverse of the bump and demo to create mistakes and instead try to avoid the disruption that the Lions are trying to create, because my goodness, the Lions are very physical. They don't always get a demo, but they're at least throwing the other cars around, and that's something that the Gators need to start predicting and looking out for and avoiding.
Game 2 between the Gators and the Lions coming up right now. We'll see if the Lions once again can remain undefeated both in series and in individual games this week as they did last week, or if the Gators can come up with the upset win. And this is, a team that's been improving every single week and has been hanging with some of these high-level teams as Wild starts off with a phenomenal start, but Alltech ends up clearing it away, and a bit of deja vu from what we saw early on in game number 1, as this time Alltech gets a great shot. Wild makes a save, but the net's wide open. Fiery can't quite correct in midair, and a huge chance there for the Gators.
We have a great shot on net that's just going to be barely pinched into the high corner there by Wifey. Wild still has possession, though, centers it up for Jababy. Wifey will turn it towards the corner. They pass it to one of their teammates who ends up stopping and getting demoed. That's something you got to watch out for as Wild now takes a shot on goal that will not be stopped. There was an attempt, but it wasn't fast enough. 4 minutes, 19 seconds, still plenty of time for the Gators to bring this one back, though. They had very solid rotations in defense that first time around and took 2 players from both sides to touch that ball for anyone to get a better possession of it as Jababy pops it high for Wilds, and it'll be stopped by Wifey.
Do see that ball centered in front of the net. Scary spot for the Gators, but it ends up getting cleared away by Alltech. Wifey is near midfield, maybe looking for a rebound play there, just a little bit over that ball, but a great setup. Here comes Fiery off the side wall. Unfortunately, both members of the Gators had retreated. Now it's up to Thrift. Tries to drop it around one, gets demoed in the process. Jababy still maintains possession though. Off the back wall, can somebody get it? Oh no! It really feels like we're watching game number 1 here, almost 30. That was a direct repeat of what we saw earlier.
It's okay, it happens. Just got to keep going. It's only 2 goals. That's a gap that can be easily cleaned up.
We see another great chance here for the Gators. All-Tac can't quite get to it. Wild takes a shot. Once again, the crossbar is there, but Jababy will come through for the follow-up. This Lions roster, we've been told, working with their coach Katz to apply things from practice and scrims into tournament games. They're working hard on a lot of advanced plays, trying to make those second nature in game. And we've seen some of those come through in these games tonight in this Rumble as they almost score another goal.
The thing that's interesting that I see coming out a lot from the Gators is they're going for resets before the end of the play has really occurred, and that's something they need to work on, having a little bit more faith in the fallout from one another, because more often than not, we see a rebound opportunity. There's just no one there as both teammates have already rotated back, so the one person that took the shot is the only one left towards the net. So we see Wilds now take a shot that's going to go wide of the goal. Now Lions trying to turn this. Oh, wait, that was a Lions shot towards his own goal there. That's not something you always want to see. Now Gators have a shot on goal. It'll be turned away, but it took 2 members of the Lions to stop that one.
Fiery centers it up. Wifey's gonna hit it in, and just like we saw in game number 1, Wifey gets a goal to keep the Gators within striking distance here. Another kickoff. Oh, Fiery with the clean win there, and that's what they needed to improve on. And so far, it leads to an early attempt on net, but Thrift will deny the backboard.
Jababy now gets a nice clear towards the other side of the field. It does get stopped and turned away slightly, but Thrift trying to throw a couple members of the Gators around. Does manage to get them to lose their dribble, but Alt-Tac does manage to keep it alive. Wifey gets a nice touch at the mid, but it's still heading towards the Gators' goal. Alt-Tac tries to spike it across, and it's stopped yet again by one of the Lions members.
Fiery, great clear down to Alt-Tac. Doesn't quite work out. Thrift now looking to make a play off the corner. Has 2 members right next to him. Jababy pops up in the air, and that ball ends up just rolling in. Great job there by the Lions.
Jababy gets the hat trick there with their 3rd goal. One of them, though, definitely belonged to Wilds, but it's okay, we won't talk about it. 2 members of the Gators will collide with Wilds at the mid, though. Thrift turns it back around towards the goal of the Gators, finding the 5th one for themselves. And now every member of the Lions has scored 1.
Lions with a great start so far. Wild's going to look to carry this one around. Oh, nearly puts it in the back of the net. Thrift shot is also turned away. And now the Gators can look to push this one upfield.
Wifey tries to pop it high, but doesn't have enough momentum. They rotate back, grab that big boost in the corner. Unfortunately, Jababy gets right above them, popping the ball over them. Fiery has an opportunity here. They have to play it around Thrift and Jababy, though they'll lose out on their dribble and turn and decide to rotate back. Now Lions have easy possession, plays around 1, but Wifey comes in, spiking it towards the midfield. Alt-Tac tries to elevate, but unfortunately they were not fast enough on that touch.
Ball played off the corner there. Shot on goal, hits off the crossbar. Very scary moment there. As now the Gators can look to play it upfield. 60 seconds left. Maybe get a couple of goals here to end the night, at least end this series, I should say, on a strong note as Thrift gets around a couple. Wifey now racing away from a couple members of the Lions. Ends up corralling in a great little solo play. Does get stolen away, but that shot goes wide of the net.
Fiery sends it over towards the side, but there's no one there from the side of the Gators to follow it up.